Hey Kurt, this is Richard Wilson from Mad Shelley Films, and we have a message for you.
This is Mad Shelley Films, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto Radio.
Even hear about us?
We just,
you know what? How did you from the coach house?
So at some point I told her, I said,
he's retired. I work.
So I told her, I
let him do all
I said,
the
there's this thing called yacht rock. And the very first time I took her to see you, she says, I didn't even know this was a thing. I said, stand by to stand by. And then,
stand by to stand by.
And then Ride Like the Wind, right? That opening song comes
Oh my
in.
God! I was like,
she was about it.
I was like, I'm in love. I want to watch this band all the time.
But how did you? So what did you hear about on Facebook or something? We pay a lot of money on Facebook targeted ads.
So
it's nice to hear that this is working.
We see it all. We see everything you guys do.
Yeah.
What was the first one? I'd like to know, like, what was that bottle that washed up on the shore that made you decide?
The uniforms and your so on your thing where you guys are introducing yourself, you guys are walking up the dock.
Oh yeah. Where you see our names and everything.
So Baba Booey and his brother and Sailor Hawkins.
Oh yeah, Baba Booey. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm looking at this.
We got Tommy Booey.
And I'm like laughing. I'm like,
she didn't think this was a thing.
I'm like,
oh my God,
you are such a liar.
Like a Saturday Night Live skit or something.
Me too.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And then as soon I was like, I lost my voice. And as soon as we left,
I'm
like, where are we seeing them again?
We didn't bring it tonight, but we got the hats and the glasses.
Yeah, I just
didn't.
I asked him, can I wear my hat? And he goes, I don't think this is a crowd. It's at a yacht club. I'm like,
but you never know. They might be handing out hats. There might be people who brought hats.
I have a picture hat. We have our whistles. We have our glasses.
And we ended up finding out that Alex here had gone out with Dean, with Diane. They had gone out to see us play, and they had no idea that we're going to be here tonight.
Nice.
And
so where are you guys going to be through the winter? Because we can't see anything.
We got a few holiday parties, actually.
But you have private stuff, right?
That's
a lot of private
stuff.
stuff.
You again. Yeah. Like, I already want to book it.
You got St. Rock and Hermosa.
Well, I think, there's a good chance in the beginning of December at Viper Room. I know it's hot in there, I know it's crowded, but,
But you sell that
it's
out
every
time.
We do, and so you've got to jump on it. Like, it's ridiculously fast.
See, I need to know when, though, so we can make those plans.
So Coach House sucks for seating, but as far as your sound and stuff and the lights and everything,
gorgeous.
Our sound guy is so awesome. He toured with Fishbone and all these bands. He's so good. Okay, so I got to ask you. Okay, I love the fact that I was talking about Pablo Cruz earlier, and now here you are with this shirt.
Yeah, you were.
Now, and you happen to be, fan, or you appreciate the language of the universe, right?
Love.
Do you find that you follow your intuition?
Yes.
A lot?
Yes.
Now, this is what I've noticed. With the folks that follow their intuition, they're tuned into a similar radio station, so to speak. That when they're tuned into their intuition, they follow the signs of the universe, the omens, all that beautiful stuff. So when they see stuff like this, Pablo Cruz, a sign, purely a sign, you go, I got to pay attention to this.
Right.
This is what brought me over here to talk to you guys. So it's like, when you see that stuff, do you find that it just keeps kind of proving itself to you over and over and over again?
Yes. Because here's why. So we own a 1971 VW bus, right?
Oh, I love those.
So here's the rule. You can never be in a bad mood in the bus.
I love this.
Here's rule number 2.
Oh my God, you got to be kidding me.
At a yacht rock concert, you can never. There's no possible way to be in a bad mood.
You're just
ever.
happy.
You're just happy every single time.
Oh my God, I can't tell you how much this warms my heart right now.
This is our thing.
This is everything I would actually hope to hear would actually exist out there in the world.
I love December 63. I love that song, and I love
we do that one sometimes.
I know you do. Sometimes I've heard, but you didn't do it at Coach House.
I know it's a rarity. We throw a little rarity.
But it's a mellow one, and I get at Coach House. It was a big show, but I loved every second. I was just like,
maybe if you send emails or call those people, say maybe just wipe out the first few seats, just so people can dance.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll make a difference from us yet.
But the sound in there is pretty good though.
It was great in there.
So what
I love that
happened
place.
was we were way over to the side, and I saw the booths, right? And we hadn't been there in years. Actually, the last time we had been there prior to you guys, which is what was so important, we decided to have a baby. And she's 17.
Oh my God, you guys! That was the last time.
And
so
the
17
next
years.
time was to see you guys, which is amazing.
I love hearing
we
these
saw
stories.
The Bacon Brothers. We saw the Bacon Brothers.
Oh my God!
At the Coach House, and we were leaving, and he looks at me, he goes, "I've got something I need to tell you." I'm like, "What?" because when I married him, he said no kids. He goes, I want to have a baby.
I love this,
pregnant
you
within 2
guys.
months.
I love this, you two.
So,
Like
so my daughter.
crazy.
Talk about
Like
6
he
degrees
said
of
it, and I was
separation.
like, woo.
So my daughter hates everything that I like as far as music. So I'm trying to explain the yacht rock, right? So I told her, I said, so watch this. Let me back up. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. So what I do is, so I put on the Ride Like the Wind. Ready?
Oh, uh-huh.
Ready? Dance moves. Ready? Let's start. Ready? Right? Just like this, right? Just like, and she hates it, and so that makes me do it more, right?
Because what good is a daughter, a 17-year-old daughter, unless you torture her?
That's right. Yeah, because you know what? The joke's on her, because even if she talks about her annoying father, she's still talking about the yacht rock.
And
So
the yacht
that's
rock
the
and
joke's
her
on
father.
them.
She's talking about her father, which later she'll go, God, I remember when my dad.
Yes,
And she'll
yes,
go,
and then
talked
she'll
about
spread that
yacht
around.
rock.
You know,
Oh my God.
I remember my
All
dad
that stuff
was
that
so
loops back
fun.
around.
It
You
does.
know, once you get older, you start to look back in hindsight. You start to get that
Like, oh, my
perspective.
dad loved music, and that was so cool because she loves music, and she loves. I mean, like she went and saw Billie Eilish before Billie Eilish was Billie Eilish. She went to our
observatory
observatory
in St. Anna.
Whoa.
We sent her there when she was only 15. And so, and then Billie Eilish blew up, you know, and she's like, now I'm trying to get her tickets at the Forum, she and I, to go. And she's like, that really pisses me. How much are the tickets, Mom? I'm like, 200 a pop. She's like, I saw her for $50. That was resale. And I was right here. And she literally, Billie looked at me and said, I love you.
That is incredible, right? Because those intimate venues sometimes really do it.
Yeah.
And you know, and you
Which
never
is
know.
what's cool about this. That's another reason I wanted to do this. I knew this place was small.
Oh my God.
And
Oh
close.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
how fun is this, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you
So the
guys
Viper
are, you
Room.
guys
I
are
need
a-
to check-
You guys
we
are
need to
kind
keep
of
up.
a hard ticket to get in Orange County.
Yeah.
So you guys, because you guys are very busy at other places, you guys sell out quick and stuff like that. So when this, like, literally, I was the first one down there at the door with my little check.
Well, if we can get the Viper Room, we'll just get a hotel and go down.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah,
You might as
for
well.
sure.
Tomorrow we have a concert in the park, which we're very excited about.
Where's it
All
at?
ages show, which then means you could, if your daughter's available, bring her out there.
Yeah.
Because what's so kick-ass, what I love, and I'm always stating this to everybody, it's like, look, you don't have to pay for a babysitter. Well, she's 17, but
Yeah.
it's like, you don't got to pay for a babysitter. You bring, I'm looking out there and I'm seeing like little 6-year-olds like
I know.
totally.
Just have
dancing,
fun.
and I'm like, holy
Just
cow.
the
they're-
love of music.
Oh my
just
God!
the love of music.
And then the parents get to really appreciate it. Moore Park, Arroyo. Well, if you go to our website, yachtleycrew.com, it'll show down there. It'll lead you to it, and I think it's free. So it's out the day, or is it? And maybe it's like 7. I don't know. Don't ask me. But I would say go to the
You guys are all
website.
over the
You guys
place.
just hired some kick-ass agent too, yeah?
Yeah, we got. Oh, this is so
You
funny.
got big shit.
We got Jim Lenz from TKO. Then we got Andy Gould from Spectacle Entertainment. Lens and Spectacle. Talk about
Oh my God.
synchronicities in the universe. Lens and Spectacle.
Great. That's awesome.
As soon as I noticed that, I'm like, guys, check this out. We
Very
wear
important.
lenses, we wear spectacles. So and now we got lenses.
Out of a normal month, you're working, what,
You guys are
15,
working a ton.
15 shows?
At least twice a month, and then we're surprised by some private shows, which it might be 4 days in a row.
Well, I was looking for you guys over Veterans Day because one of my dearest oldest friends is coming in from Minnesota.
We were praying that
And
you
I
guys
was
were
praying,
in.
and I couldn't find you guys. So we did find something. Tijuana Dogs, I think, is playing somewhere. But we're thinking, okay, maybe something will come up because we were looking for you guys. I was talking about you to my girlfriend, and she's
Thank
coming,
you.
and she's a veteran, and it's her weekend, right? So
That
I
would
love
be
her.
so kick-ass
So I'm
to
like,
do that.
I want to so bring you to them, but I don't know. And she's
Oh
like,
my
I don't
God.
care. Like,
Well, I'd
it's
love
okay.
to believe that our new guys that are on our side. So we had a great meeting with them the other night. Did you see on our Instagram or any of that craziness in the social networks?
I saw that you had a new meet with your agent.
So we had a meeting with Andy Gould from Spectacle Entertainment, and we were talking about, oh my God, how fun would that be? As if we're at this point we've seen so many crazy things that have happened that now. And I've always been there. And they'd be like, well, and they try to dumb it down like, well, let's not get excited. And I'm like, look, I'm not trying to sell you on the idea. I'm predicting the future. I'm telling you this is already happening in the future.
Right.
So, as we see, like last night at Viper Room, so Baba Booey plays bass. He's a huge Howard Stern fan. And there's that guy, Baba Booey, on it. Baba Booey was at the Viper Room last night.
Oh my God.
Who he named himself after. He was in the crowd. I mean, if you look at the stats, you roll the dice on that, and you go, okay, what's the lottery? 1 billion to trillion or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
So the fact that that happened was like just beautiful. So it's like ideally these are like going into their brains where they're going, okay, a lot of like very cosmic stuff is happening to us that we need to pay attention to. So at this point, let's just keep dreaming huge. So it was beautiful. With Andy Gould from Spectacle Entertainment, he goes, I like it, maybe someday we'll play in the Hollywood Bowl. I said, yes, Andy, of course we'll play in the Hollywood Bowl. And Carnegie Hall. It's like, why not?
It's coming.
It's coming.
Playing the Viper Room is just as possible as Carnegie Hall. Why not?
So, because your demographic is so huge right now. So
all ages. It's crazy.
So we're in our early 50s, but all that music, it just hits.
So many memories. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you're the keyboard player?
Yeah, and then sometimes guitar.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure if I play guitar at night or not. Sometimes we get that set list last minute.
Gotcha.
So it's always a fun surprise.
So you're just ready to rally.
Yeah, and then sometimes he gives us a little sign like, okay, we're gonna pass up that song, just go to the next song.
Nice.
So it's like,
we're gonna hit Pablo Cruz. Love will find a way.
I'm gonna plant that
guy
seed in their
up
brain. I will plant that seed in their brain.
If you want to see this guy go ape shit, that's the song you.
And what's your name, dude?
Stony Shores, baby.
I'm Sherry Ramsey.
Sherry Ramsey, I love it.
I'd love to meet you.
Ken, I love it.
I'm a high school teacher, so it's so nice to just get a relaxation night and let you guys take me away.
We live literally around the corner.
Yeah, we do. That's what was so great about this. No, we Ubered. It's like a mile and a half. I ain't walking home a mile and a half, Buzz.
But the fact you live so close is
It's
just so
so
cool.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Yeah, great.
Did you
meant to be?
So you found out about this and then got the tickets?
Yes.
So
he was stalking you after.
I love it.
After we went to Coach House, I just was hounding him.
Thank you.
Wives hound. Yeah. So I'm like,
perfect.
I gotta go work. You gotta figure out where
And you
these
two are
guys
such
are.
high vibrating creatures. It's so good. You must have so much fun sharing your stories with each other. Like, oh, honey, this is.
We're either like this or we're like this because we are so.
I'm a relatively low vibrating creature. She's very high vibrating. Yeah.
But you appreciate the synchronicities on it.
Oh, totally.
That to me is the language of just the pure source. So it's like the more we dive into that, and then you share those stories with each other. And you go, oh my God, honey, this was this crazy idea that popped in my brain, and this was the synchronicity involved. And then all of a sudden you go, what? I came across that same kind of revelation, and now there's another synchronicity that was born out of it that was never anticipated. Had you not shared that with me, or had you not shared that with me? Oh, I love that stuff. I mean, this whole interaction.
Like you said, her thing was, I didn't even, this was a thing. I said, buckle up, this is a thing.
Buckle up.
You're going to love it.
Put on your life vest,
It is
baby.
a thing, and I want to be in
Oh my
every
God,
concert.
I love it. Because that's the thing, is that we want to have this experience with everyone. And we want to bring the amphitheater concert vibe to no matter how big the stage or small. Because it just
I love it.
he's got so many lights up there, and it's just so.
My girlfriend has her salad.
Oh.
In the fridge.
Oh.
Upstairs at that line.
Oh, downstairs. So I go downstairs.
Go get
And then
it.
I didn't see you. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
To her.
So I tell her downstairs.
Yes, Diane.
Okay.
Bianca's her name.
Oh yeah. But it's in a refrigerator downstairs.
She knows where your salad's
Oh,
at.
gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Take care.
We'll see you.
Can't wait to watch you.
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, that was so crazy. That was so crazy to meet these folks. Wow, you heard it. You heard it here, folks. You heard it. You heard it. Man, that's incredible. Time is now 12 o'clock p.m. Today is October 7th, Monday. I'm heading up to my K-Chung radio show. Today is 1 o'clock to 2 p.m., which is a perfect time for anybody who has lunch break during that time to tune in. Some folks, they have issues with Monday. They just don't like Monday. So I made sure that this radio show appears on Monday for those who hate Monday. For from 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. because I figured, oh, okay, that's a lunch break right there. And anyone who happens to hate Monday can just tune into information that they're not used to hearing. So, I believe Nicholas is back, going to be our station manager today. Man, I gotta tell you, I'm obsessed with the TV show. Wait, hold on, I gotta find it here. It's called La Casa de Papel. And in America, it's called Money Heist. It's on Netflix. And it's in Spanish. However, you got all kinds of options. You can look at subtitles in all kinds of different languages and whatnot. You can even switch it so you hear English voices over it. And it doesn't lose a thing. It's really good. The voice acting is phenomenal. All the little nuances, man, it's just great. So, what first got me interested in it was, of course, I was on that app Wish, and I saw that they had these Salvador Dali masks, and that intrigued me because Salvador Dali is my favorite painter. In fact, he's the very first painter I ever heard of growing up. My cousins were the ones who got me interested in Salvador Dali. And so, since an early age, I suppose one could say that I've been a surrealist. And once I saw that they were selling these Salvador Dali masks on Wish, I immediately ordered 7 of them, not realizing that there are 7 people who are involved with the heist. And I don't want to give anything away. I would say, check it out. I cannot believe that they got all these seasons. They're up to 3, I think, right now. And hopefully they'll be cranking out more. So I saw that mask, and then that on that same page there was a T-shirt that said Bella Ciao on it, and it had that mask, on it. And I was like, okay, let me order this shirt. I might not know what it is, but let me get it. And then while I was waiting in the mail for the masks and the T-shirt to arrive, that's when Kapow was going on, 13th through the 19th, and it was interesting because during that time, and you can actually hear. I have I think 3 episodes, maybe 4, 3 or maybe 4 episodes of about an hour each that were taken at the Kapow Intergalactic Film Festival with the interviews that I had with these people. And in that first episode, you can even listen to it. It's on Spotify, Anchor, all those places you can hear it. And which is however you're listening to this right now. And in that first episode, I have an interview with these two girls, the co-organizers, like the only co-organizers of this festival called Not Film Festival. And it takes place in Italy. So it was their 3rd year. They're telling me that it was their 3rd year. It's very successful. People love going out there. And the reason why they were out at our film festival was because they were there to see this movie called Last Call, which played out there. And they love this movie. And the cool thing about Last Call is that it's a split screen. I think I might have mentioned this. It's a split screen movie, so it's all in one take. The whole movie's in one take. The entire movie. In addition to that, it's split screen, so there are 2 things happening simultaneously all at once. And they were so excited to come out and meet the actors, because some of the actors were not able to make it out to the Not Film Festival. However, the director was, and the producer. So it's just really cool to be able to talk to these girls about their film festival. Because once I started
after I started Kapow, I really didn't, I hadn't talked to any other co-organizers, so it was pretty cool to talk shop about that kind of thing. And we joked about the idea of having a support group where we all get together and all these film festival co-organizers get together and talk about stuff. So what was it? I brought up to them Bella Ciao, because Bella Ciao is the name of a song that's played in this TV show, Money Heist. And so what was it? Somehow, I think I brought it up to him because I found out it was a TV show because on Wish, and I was looking up the mask, and then I saw the T-shirt, and the T-shirt said Bella Ciao on it. So then I went online, and I'm like, okay, what is this all about? Salvador Dali mask, Bella Ciao, and then that led me to YouTube, and then I saw, oh wow, that's so kick-ass, because these people are doing the Money Heist. They're all wearing Salvador Dali masks with red jumpsuits. And, which is great because it's reminiscent of the Anonymous stuff, and it's also reminiscent of the Mr. Robot stuff. So it's just so cool, so cool. So I started talking with these ladies about it, and they absolutely love the show. They couldn't say enough great stuff. And so then finally, once I got the T-shirt in the mail, once I got the masks in the mail, I just then finally went on to Netflix and said, okay, what's this all about? And man, I became immediately hooked to this show. I can't stop thinking about it. When I'm out and about, I want to just be home watching it. It's really, really cool. It is really, 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 really cool. For anyone who loves like the mastermind kind of stuff. Because the guy who puts the whole thing together is kind of like a chess player. So he's always, who knows how many moves ahead of the cops. And just when you think they've gotten bailed out of something, all of a sudden another thing happens, another stuck back in it. So it's cool, it's a roller coaster. It just takes you all over, corkscrews up and down, all kinds of stuff. So I really would like to see this thing go for many, 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 many seasons. Because it's supposed to, basically, there's a 12-day span. So that's the whole idea, is that they plan on making the heist for 12 days. What's crazy is, they'll put the date on, or the time and the dates and whatnot. Let's say like 52 hours into the heist, 60 hours into the heist. So basically, as you're watching all this stuff, you're thinking it's taking place over the span of who knows how many days. But really, it's happened in such a short amount of time. It's crazy. It's interesting how you can mess with time like that, especially when you think about that idea of time as being relative. So you can have a character that's experiencing time in a different fashion, in a much different way than other characters would. So you can really play with that idea. And then on top of that, there's the time frame that the audience themselves is experiencing. So it's this really interesting loop-de-loop kind of thing. For Twin Peaks Season 3, there's a lot of that stuff going on. And they would lead you to believe that this particular scene happened the day after this, or that happened the day after that. But really, sometimes the scene would happen, even if it was 3 episodes later, and it basically, there'd be a scene, and you go, oh, okay, this happened, but, hours after that particular episode or whatever. So it's just so intriguing. So intriguing how you can mess with time like that, mess with the brains of the audiences. It's always a blast to see. It's always a blast to see that those kind of shenanigans unfold.
Please stand clear. The doors are closing.
I am very happy to be back in the studio. I need to bring the K-Chung microphones that we used for Kapow during the interviews.
Welcome aboard the Metro Red Line. This train's final
Which was really,
destination
you know,
is Union Station.
really cool that they let us borrow that. The original idea, of course, was to stream live.
Thanks for calling Metro. Please don't eat, drink, or smoke on trains or on platforms, and avoid placing your feet on the seats. The next stop is Pershing Square Station on Mill Street.
Yeah, that was cool. In fact, you could see those interviews that we had on Facebook. We had those happening on Facebook, which was great.
Pershing Square Station. Exit here for Angels Flight and the Grand Central
What I'd
Park.
like to do is re-download those videos from the Kapow page, because what happened was that first day, the camera was actually it was in portrait mode instead of landscape mode. So the way that showed up on the screen was a sideways kind of thing somehow. So
Please
what I'd
stand
like to do
clear.
is just
The doors are
download
closing.
that, re-upload that to the Kapow YouTube channel, and allow people to really check that out. What else? Oh yeah, so like as previously stated, there are probably about, I think, 3 more Kapow episodes coming out. I still have
Next stop is
lots
Civic
of
Center, Grand Park
great
Station,
interview material that I
Mill
had
Street between First and 10th.
with Blythe Baines that I still need to release. I've still got great material that I need to release from the 311 cruise, and great material that I still need to release from Spencer McCall. So just remind me of that. There's just some great stuff there that needs to be released and heard. There's also an interview that I conducted with Nicole
Exit here for
Alicia
LA City Hall,
Xavier
LA County Superior
on Venice Beach
Board of Administration, the Music Center,
that
Disney Hall, and the LA
I guess none of you will ever hear. It was an hour long. And she just said it was too windy, but man, I love the ambiance. I gotta tell you, there's something about it, there's something charming about it. You got the ambiance, you got the wind blowing, you got the people talking, you got the birds squawking, you got the bicycles squeaking, you got the skateboarders, clickety clacking. There's something to that. There's a charm. And once that's dialed into and it's understood what's going on there, wow, it could be dynamite, So, if you want to be a part, look at that, we're about to get off here. If you want to be a part of the podcast and or the radio show, please send me an email, inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com. Send me an email there. You can also call me. Leave a message, voicemail, 561-203-9179er. 561-203-9179er. That's the official theme song for the hotline. All right, that's all for now. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you, by the way, Richard Wilson and the Mad Shelley production team for that extraordinary intro to the show. Also, what you heard at the top there was some interviews with what Yachtley Crew likes to call Crewpies. So we had a private gig out in Huntington Beach a few days ago for the wildlife. We had a charity out there. I interviewed some of these folks who had seen Yachtley Crew, Also, what you're going to hear here is Spencer McCall just inspired me, because I talked about it in that last segment there. It inspired me to put a piece of the Spencer McCall interview that I did with him, and so I thought I'd throw that in there for you. And after this, then I'll answer man behind the machine's question about us being in a simulator.
I grew up Jewish. I hated going to temple, and I kind of abandoned. I had a misplaced moment where, and this was in college, and I think this is true for a lot of people, where I misplaced the hatred I had for the organization with the not spirituality or theology of it, but with some of the rituals that went along with it. So it's like just because like I don't like going to church doesn't mean I can't enjoy Christmas or whatever or Easter, you know. Right. And but for a little while, and I think this is true with a lot of people who like fall out of the congregation that they grew up in, either because they leave home or whatever, they have to lump a lot of that stuff in with it, whether that means like I no longer believe in any kind of higher power or anything like that. Is it still recording? All right, good. Yeah, so like I don't know. I think for some people when they leave their congregation, they abandon like any form of spirituality, and they also abandon a lot of the ritual that went along with it. For instance, maybe because I married somebody who's not Jewish, but like I can't remember the last time I celebrated Hanukkah, you know, and stuff like that. So anyway, it creates like a little bit of a vacuum that all of a sudden when you find this thing that says, okay, you don't need to believe in what you believed before, you don't even need to believe in a higher power, but you get this set of like rituals and this congregation, it fills this weird like hole in humanity where, I mean, we're all just these lonely weirdos like roaming around individually. So if we can figure out a way to congregate and have a set of practices that we all play an important role in, I think that fills a void for some people.
And I think too the pleasure and the excitement that comes with that community aspect, the connection with others, you know, singing along with each other, putting our arms around each other, holding their hands, this idea that you're sort of this one organism that's playing together, working together. And it's interesting when that's the element that is like the truest element in those religions. Yeah, it's the other strange, icky stuff that might be, that's built around that stuff. Yeah, it's like, I love this aspect, but we could do without that stuff, you know. And it sounds to me like with the Latitude Society, it was almost like just from what I saw in the trailer, it seems like you were attempting to build a playful, utopian, safe area to do creative stuff.
Well, that's interesting that you talk about, like, you use the word safe. And I'll get to that in 1 second, but one other just quick note is, like, somebody in the film and during an interview said something that I hadn't put the words to it until after I spoke with her, but we all say, like, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. Her thing is, I'm religious, I'm not spiritual. You know, I like the wafer, I like the red wine, I like the rosary beads or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was pretty cool. But the Latitude was kind of interesting because we talk a lot about safe spaces in society, and I'm not even entirely clear what that term means, because for some people, I think maybe like on the right or whatever, a safe space would be where they can say not PC things or whatever, and then maybe on the left, a safe space is where everybody's allowed to be, proud of who they are and not be shamed in any way or something like that. You can say, like, yes, I have had an abortion, and you know, the safe space is that you won't be judged for that or something like that. The Latitude, though, was almost intentionally not a safe space. Oh. It was almost intentionally a place to, like, jimmy you out of your comfort zone a little bit,
gotcha.
and mess with you, and if you survive that process, you're good. You know, you're one of us. For a lot of people,
sort of challenging their realities with things that were happening out there.
Yeah, opposed to a space where you're comfy and cozy the whole time.
Okay, I love it.
That was kind of
That's
the idea. Great. But then once you get through that that turbulent, as we'd say, flux state, then who are you and where are you and who are these people? And so it was a very strange ordeal.
What was the core? When did that start? And then, like, how long was the whole that whole thing?
So Jejune closed in, I think it was April of 2011, and then it was in 2013 that the Latitude sprang up as a pay it forward kind of thing. So you couldn't pay to join. You would just be gifted a card and told to, like, go do this thing. And then,
cool. Hello, sir. May I have some more coffee when you get the opportunity? Thanks.
And then afterwards, if you enjoyed the experience, it was sort of like a exit through the gift shop thing where if you want to pay this experience forward, then you can buy a card.
Cool.
But that business model wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't working too well? Oh, boy.
No. So when they tried to create like a membership, like a tithing kind of thing, all hell broke loose. And I'll just leave it at that with the film. But it went, I think, it opened sometime in early 2013.
Thank you.
Not early 2013. I'd say like this.
Like the location itself, or are you talking about the idea itself?
The location.
Oh, the location.
Yeah, the doors opened in, I think, the spring or summer of 2013.
Did you build those houses? Were those pre-existing little huts?
I helped build those houses, yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, man.
With a really, helped build those houses.
You basically built your own little village.
Yeah.
I mean, where the heck, do you know, is this village still,
it's in Mendocino.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it visitable? I mean, is it like, because you said it closed, but like, is this still a...
But now I think they may be open for like Airbnbs in the future. Probably not the too distant future.
Oh my God, I would love to visit that place just to look around.
Have you been to Mendocino? Or
no, I never have.
Oh, it's a pretty magical place. It's like being in some fairy tale. Like,
whoa, man.
So I helped build the video installations and did some of the performance stuff, and then
did someone just have this land and they're like, we want you to build this thing here, or
basically, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I'll send you a link. I'd love to know what you think.
Yeah. How many little?
It's like six.
6 little huts, so 6 little...
And then there's like what you don't see much of is there's like a bunkhouse also.
Is that like the main like temple area or
something?
Sort of,
yeah. There's a few houses that are, I mean, it is perfectly set up location to be a cult compound, The difference was after, and every summer they would have these, you do all of the experiences like in the city all throughout the year, and then if you were worthy, essentially, you were invited up to these retreats in Mendocino where, they were just like batshit crazy.
Astounding. So were a lot of those folks members of Jejune? They sort of migrated over into this thing?
You know what? Not really. There were some, but there was a big difference. There was a humongous difference, actually. A lot of the Jejune people were like, when they went into the Latitude, it was like, nope, no, this isn't for me. And the difference there, I think, there were a few things to it, but I think it came down to tone. Jejune was absurd and silly and kind of funny.
It seemed like a choose-your-own-adventure quest, just out there for people to...
Yeah, and it was always a little tongue-in-cheek. There was always, like, little jokes, and it was meant to be... There were definitely somber moments and really, like, powerful, touching moments. But the Latitude was supposed to be like this really kind of somber, creepy, like there could have been a vampire there or something. It was just like tonally and thematically, they're very different. Even if you want to say that they both did X for people and pushing them out of comfort zones or whatever.
Were people actually living there, or was it just like over a weekend?
It was over a week. So the retreats would happen over a weekend. So people would show up Friday, and then they would like either leave Sunday night or Monday. Sometimes they were like on long weekends, so they'd be like 4 days or something. Or I think you'd arrive like on when I did it. I went to a couple. I'd arrive Thursday, and then, I gotta just show you the thing. I'll send you the link.
So was there someone always living on campus, so to speak, who like was sort of the groundskeeper, or? And then did you do it every weekend? Did you do it once a month? I mean, how often was that stuff?
They were done once a year.
Oh.
There was kind of like some New Year's Eve stuff that happened, but there was a groundskeeper, and then Massey Burke, who's a really amazing architect of like natural materials, I guess. So like they're all built with this weird sod and stuff, and that's it. They all had like power running through them and stuff like that.
Wow. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You're welcome. I'll try to be quiet with that.
Thank you. Oh heck, even if you're not, that adds to the whole charm of this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. But there was a groundskeeper, and then Massey lived up there for like a year, maybe 2 years or something like that.
And who's Massey? Was he one of the guys who helped create it?
Massey, she was one of the architects of like the huts themselves. So we'd go up and help build them, but she's like the one who like designed.
Oh, she's the one who. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And
wow, that must have been fun to see that kind of imagination come into reality. You know, where you design the idea of this hut, and then whoa, there it is. These things are livable. People are here. They are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It won't do much for your listeners, but afterwards I'll show you some of like the photos of that period and some of the retreats. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
So you're just figuring out what now to do with the was it Bright Axiom?
Bright Axiom, yeah, we're kind of just figuring out what to do next with it. And this was kind of true with the Institute too. Like we had finished it in April, and then I think everybody just kind of goes on vacation in the summer, and then in the fall, like festivals kind of pick up.
Hey Inspirado, this is Man Behind the Machine. What are your thoughts about simulations and artificial intelligence? Have you played a simulation such as a game recently that mimicked something in real life such as SimCity or Heroes of Might and Magic or some kind of role-playing game on a phone? And what are your thoughts about this being a simulation within a simulation of a multi-universe?
So I'm on my way up to see Joker. I've been excited about seeing this.
We got perfect synchronicity right there, baby, right there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
You too.
So I've just been following the progress of this for, I guess, the past year or so. Isn't that crazy when you think about how fast movies come out now? In this day and age, with all the technology that we got, you can make a movie within, you shoot a movie within a month, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got your top editors on there putting it together. They got these guys called DITs these days. I'm not certain what that stands for, but the DITs kind of, while they're on set, you upload scenes to them along with the audio, and then they're basically kind of doing a rough cut of this thing while you're on set. So you're kind of maximizing the efficiency of what you're doing. And it's a beautiful thing. So on my way up to see Joker. Now, this is my response to Man Behind the Machine about living in a simulator. There was a time, long time ago, that I had played Sims. I think it was called Sims. I know there's Sim City, which is like you build cities. And then there's Sims, where you kind of take these people through their daily lives. You got them cleaning the toilets, going to their jobs, hosting parties, taking showers, eating, buying food. So there's a lot of plates to spin, and I think something like that could definitely be used as a good tool to teach kids how to be. It's a really good learning tool to teach kids what to do when they grow up, what things you got to think about, and how much time in the day you got. So, if your person doesn't have much of a social life, you see that their morale kind of starts to go down. And as you work and as you make money, then it shows you, when you buy food and all that kind of stuff, you buy accoutrements throughout your house, that, it shows, okay, well, it costs X amount of dollars, costs this, costs that. So it's it's really interesting thing. Now, when I was playing it, what was crazy was I was spending more time playing Sims and getting, hi little puppy. I was playing Sims, trying to get these people's lives in order, and I was looking around, and I wasn't cleaning my own house. I wasn't taking care of my own business. So that's the interesting aspect of that. There was this, I wish I could actually reference the exact interview that I saw. There was a sort of a panel discussion. It had, what's his name? deGrasse Tyson. He and a few other intellectuals were having a conversation. And one of the guys there said that they discovered everything that our theories are based on, everything that our mathematics that we use to describe science, planetary systems, all this stuff that they agree on. Where they go, oh, this planet's billions of light years away, all that jazz. Basically, they discovered that the root of all of it, you go deep and deep and deep, and at the root of it all of that stuff is composed of zeros and ones, which means we are composed of zeros and ones, which is really quite an interesting thing when you think about that, because what else do you think of when you think of zeros and ones? You think of, computers and whatnot. Computers, you got zeros and ones. So if computers are programmed together with zeros and ones to make the language that they're making, and we are composed of zeros and ones, what that means is that we're all in a big program. And then the ultimate sort of takeaway that they were talking about was the fact that, it's possible that we are in a simulator. So, of course, limited human brains are trying to think, well, there's no way that they could hold all that data. What kind of computer is going to hold all that data? Well, an extraterrestrial computer, folks. An extraterrestrial computer. Just as all of those little people in the Sims video game. And it's funny because I had frequently thought about this before I even saw that panel discussion with the intellects. I had thought about this, okay. So imagine video games. All these little people are programmed to feel particular things. They're programmed to act a certain way. They're programmed to say little things. They're programmed to do stuff. And what's interesting is who's to say that they don't feel pain? When, let's say, one of those games where, you shoot them up, bang, bang. Who's to say that, okay. Who's to say that they don't feel that stuff? Who's to say that they don't encounter pain in those situations? So you take that analogy. They are to us, within this program, what we are to something else that's putting us together. So they think that they're real. All these little people, they're walking around, they think they're real. They think that this is their life. This is what's going on. They probably think that they're material, or whatever their definition is of that. Physical. Whatever their definition is of that. And then, that same thing for us. So it's really quite an interesting thing when you think about it, when you really play around with that idea. It's really quite intriguing. So I do believe we're in a simulator, and we can program ourselves. We can program what's going on. I've made programs basically to have babies stop crying while I was on a subway. I used a technique called EFT, emotional freedom technique. If you look that up on YouTube, you'll see all kinds of stuff. EFT. F for Frank, T for Triceratops. So I use that to sort of dial in a program of sorts to get babies to stop crying on subways. It was all mental. So if that's the case, what else is possible, you know? I mean, I recently went to the doctor because I was coughing up a storm. And why couldn't I simply program the virus out of me, so to speak? You know, it's one thing that you'd think for sure you'd be able to use those powers. I mean, when you think about the monks who were up there in the Appalachian, or the, is it the Appalachian Mountains? And they're up there, and they're just, you know, they're in sort of like a cloth thing, and it's snowing up there, and they sit down in the snow, they meditate, and next thing you know, there's this whole circle around them of just dryness. They've been able to just concentrate, meditate so much that all of a sudden, everything around them is dry. That's crazy. I mean, it's like those videos you see where these people are able to hammer nails into their arms and stuff, and they don't bleed. And so, yeah, I think we're in a simulator of sorts, and I'm very curious to see what I can do more. I need to start meditating. What I can do more to help that along. So we'll talk more later. Actually, you know what? I think this is the end of the podcast. So thank you for listening to Inspirado Projecto.